for it. I think it will be interesting if we do get to that point. It's not something I've yet to cast over or see unfold, you know, for Europe yet. I don't know. It makes it interesting to say the very, very least. The one thing I do know is this flight path a little bit more rougher for anyone who does like to loot towards north and northwest. Makes things a little bit more difficult. No one over by Georgia Pole just yet. Obviously, you can get the vehicles and go crack on and get up there, which will probably lean to a more middle pack, a very busy area. Look at BBL, look at Vanir. They've overstayed their welcome at Pachinki, and rightfully so. It's free. It's kind of safe for now. I kind of wonder on VP side.
Was VP pulling up to this?
Well, I suppose what we have to remember is the compound itself. When we drop down, this is normally somewhere that BBL would take for themselves, right?
Yeah,
they drop down, they take control of it. So I wonder in my mind,
Milta, or if they go slightly more west, that'll go more Galacticos, TM, VP's problem, maybe even a bit of Liquid. But speaking of Exhalation and FaZe, they're close enough that they're taking lumps out of each other. Ready to boom, gonna find Gustav. I'm a bit worried because I think Gustav was a little more isolated than the others. Yeah, he was. So I'm just gonna shuffle down. And you can see where the shot landed. Right in the kisser.
Just a boom coming for it. I think they want to try and cut them off. You can see FaZe is also moving in for the revive, so this could be a bit of a clash. Who gets there first with the slow? The tires are all messed up, so it does slow their approach down, and because of that, they're forced to wander away from this. I think he's resable. He's gone down for the protection, but the vehicle's there. I'm assuming he... I don't know if you can seat swap that through the tunnel. Maybe you can just, probably just jump above it actually and crouch down. Didn't realize it was all the way at the top. So that's an easy res. But you could see what they're attempting to do. But because the tires have gone off the vehicles, it's inadvertently denied. Heroic pull up on top of the hill. Take a quick scout. I reckon they've probably seen one of the players in the form of aimlol. He wasn't quite this far down the hill, so maybe that information did come through and they've opted just not to bother taking the fight. The silent roll down the hill. If my headphones probably are deceiving me, actually, to be fair, I don't think it's a silent roll at all. I have to get him. I have to have him quietly. I do apologize if I got that one wrong. And still, actually up exact same place. They've not moved whatsoever. A couple of them went back to Zaverny to get some extra gear and then came back. And Squeaky's just been watching this the entire time. And actually, that's a decent place now. You have this information. Rustanmar and Squeaky have been there for quite some time, but what's the play from ENCE? They don't want to get disconnected from the pack of the players by that pool of water. So where do you go and set up shop now? Where do you want to call home?
But if you're ENCE, right, you're going to just filter through maybe towards that petrol station. If they feel that they can grab something deeper, they will. All out timing in my mind for ENCE especially, because do they beat the likes of Liquid to where they want to be? Will Liquid now be forced into a slightly different compound? How does this compress? Because all the teams know this is more than likely going south, and this is exactly what we mean. SMB laying in wait, going to just tear apart the opponents until then. Yuri's still on his feet for now, gets out of the vehicle, goes for a bit of a wild spray, but he will lose his life. In Hall of Game, they're down in 16th.
Also, another pull-up on the side, FaZe Clan. Two members down, though. Plenty of damage on the side of Na'Vi. Trying to get a few shots in as they were looking towards scouting that. It was a 2-2 split. Good little driving skill from alya. Puts him around the corner and out of the safety. But, my word, the damage has been done to Na'Vi. The commitment FaZe are actually being pulled through the ringer this time around. They've had to fight a few battles to get to this point. Almost losing Gustav earlier on, but they do recover themselves. Yep, all four players. So we're okay here. It just depends what the circle's like. All oncomers are going to go flying past this. They'll be able to put all these bullets down, but the problem for me is if anyone's taking the ridge lines around this and the circle's favorable to them and not FaZe, fighting out of that place can be very difficult. So the circle has to be kind to them, otherwise it's put your smokes down and full send in the vehicles.
Couple of teams around, but I think Fate may work out that there is an area they could pull up if they fancied it, but it may be just a Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
What
Ain't no way.
in the world?
Ain't no way. It's gone north. Okay, so nobody. I mean, Page put his foot across towards his side. Now he's sitting there going, I called it the whole time, boys. I've got it. Don't worry. ENCE beelining north. Do they go to the no lean town? Surely not. They're going to go straight towards the little granny house. But Diggory got caught on the way through because everyone is moving. Rustanmar, I don't know, silently moving away, just trying to pretend he ain't in that vehicle, but this is insanity, Rich.
That's absolutely crazy, and it's even wilder to think that ENCE were up here for the entirety of the time, and then finally they're the first ones that lose a player. Everyone just starts barreling around. Wait, Rustanmar's going to go for the res? He snuck under the radar. He's let everyone go past first and gone for a massive 2-2. Look at the migration. Everybody is fully sending it. Liquid have already bypassed ENCE and taken one down. They might have to do the same again. They've committed. I don't think you
can't crash it.
Maybe you can.
There's a shack. There is a shack.
They're looking towards it, but no, they've lost one. They're still good. That's it. Full commitment. Game on. Job done. Through the barricade. Looks out the back. The damage is already done. There is a follow-up there. Another player lingering around the corner. A good lean.
Good.
Would be phenomenal and fantastic for Liquid. The rest of ENCE need to get here fast if they want any chance.
They can't.
But I don't think it's worth it. A two-man band cannot tackle this alone.
If Liquid can stabilize fast enough, they're golden. If someone else saw this happening, like TM maybe, they could pile into this. I'm surprised that Liquid committed to that, but maybe they scouted out well enough. Maybe they noted that one of ENCE got knocked somewhere, and now was the time. This was the shack I thought they were going to go for. I thought they were going to pull up to where we're seeing, you know, Tokyo kind of go towards, but actually Liquid is still going for this one. Clib's in danger. Still on his feet. How's he getting away with this one? Liquid going to hit that reverse and try and get in the compound. Get their heads down for a second. Take a breath at this point. As now TM take the hillside just south of them. You've got SMB over by the petrol station near Heroic side almost. You can see them very, very similar in position. DA just across the road as well. This is now all piling in. VP taking their time. They're still on the southern side. Na'Vi way out in the blue. Big old swing as ENCE are done for. This was their backyard. This was meant to be their home. This could have been the win for them. They couldn't get it done. Now there's a problem for TM. They've split a fair bit. We said that they were kind of leaning on that southern side from Liquid's compound, but you can see the problems. No idea that Smash has pushed up on them. BBL are going to try and take that space, or what remains of BBL. It's only 2. Make it really 1 and a knock at this point. So Smash is going to try and get himself healed back up. Now Na'Vi make their entrance. And they've been out in the blue, just kind of ticking away for a while, but they will at least be able to pull up for now and keep their heads down for just a second, as everyone else is starting to kind of implode at this point.
I'm still gobsmacked at this circle, honestly. That is pure and utter insanity. I didn't think yesterday's could. I mean, yesterday's was a water circle, right? But this is just an unprecedented circle, completely off the leash. And it's even wilder to think that ENCE started here. They were one of the last teams to leave here. And they're one of the first to go. That's a devastating blow. Nevertheless, we carry on. Na'Vi, the remnants of BBL from earlier on. Third player will go down. Smash, last man standing. Shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. While he can garner information, and that's actually about to say from the little portholes, they'll probably smoke it off, and that's exactly what they're doing. Deny his vision. Keep throwing as many flashbangs and everything else as you can just to misdirect him and misguide him. They're actually backing away from this. So they're doing that so they can get the vehicles and maybe get the hell out, unless they want to pull the vehicles towards the building and fighting out with a bit of cover.
Liquid en route, though.
Liquid have got to make a move because of where they were previously. It's not the greatest place in the world. They've caught Smash with his pants down. He's been outside trying to garner whatever he can off his fallen comrade's body. They'll lay him to rest. And Liquid will claim this side, and they'll continue. No, they will not. Excuse me. It's Lazar to strike. Twice, actually. Lightning hits, and Na'Vi go down. 12th position for those. And they'll look onwards of Team Liquid because their arrival should be imminent.
I don't know where Liquid go, though. It's tricky. Maybe they could use Na'Vi's vehicles to build something up, potentially, but it's still not safe. This is ENCE. That was the other part of ENCE trying to make it over. FaZe caught them. And the easy shout in this is looking towards Heroic and DA, right? Maybe SMB thrown into the mix, but I lean towards hard cover over just terrain at this point. But again, this is what Liquid has to work with. It ain't much. But beyond that, keep your eye on the likes of VP and FaZe. Keep themselves quite far out of the kind of mayhem, playing, well, FaZe is still on the main kind of portion of land over on the bridge, almost. You can see him in the distance there. And VP on the very southern cross. So they're letting this all resolve and probably going to be the last ones to the party, maybe shuffle in on that south or eastern side if they have to. I don't think FaZe wants to go anywhere, excuse me, the western side. I don't think FaZe wants to go anywhere near the east. So they're going to come across now. And actually VP and FaZe moving at the same time. This is where the problems could actually begin. If they both come across here with a really good idea, but now they're heading right towards each other. FaZe going to dip down towards that slightly lower ground. I think VP has an idea someone was over that side, but I don't know how much they know that FaZe could have crossed here. Now they have to respect this, and now the contact begins. BatulinS gets caught by a couple of stray bullets, and a really unique battle going down in an area that's not highly contested. It's 4v4 down here, basically.
What does it do? Hits towards the north. All right, a lot of work to be done on the side of the south. VP will have to turn tail and maybe follow FaZe up. They do have that kind of death flare that plays off the back with Harry Potter. They can probably just maybe stay out of vision of DA, but the rocks will not be fully in. So if they can keep going further down, there will be teams upwind of this. Straight out the car. That's decent. Daboom to help him out as well. So iZoom works together alongside him in tandem. Nades are there and damage is done. Through the window we go, but he comes out, says peekaboo. Thank you very much. And they catch them in open water. No chance for resuscitation, but still a hold for now.
I'm seeing if VP can make this actually playable. For now, I think teams are trying to work out, okay, do we have line of sight? Do we have an angle? Beamy does. He's caught Lou. And now Team Liquid actually on the other side of things. This is far north, finding question mark. A couple of nades coming down. Liquid should have been able to rebolster their supply over the couple of boxes they found en route. And yeah, they will absolutely litter the floor with it. Aduzi's already received his fair share of damage. You can see Dante still there, one towards that little bit of a shack trying to play out of it. Jeemzz is en route as well. Now, Fate is watching over this, and there it is. Great shot from Fate further afield, looking over, trying to keep some sort of tabs on what's going down, trying to stay relevant to the fight, because he's not quite there in person. I don't know how resable Ibi will be. It looks like he should be able to get back on his feet here, but this has slowed the push. Oh, that's a great nade. Fall asleep. Don't know if you're going to be able to do much about it. Hey, he's actually fine. It's just on the cusp of those stairs. Molly goes in. Flash goes out, he's just trying to buy time, he has to go out and fight, he has to go and face the music, and maybe he can get it done. No. mxey's nade that time was good enough. We see pushes further afield. Galacticals have been moving up towards SMB, they've taken that space away from them, and taken them out at this point.
QM expend the last of their smokes and hope that this rock can provide some sort of safety net. They're in the mix. They're actually in the thick of it, to be fair. Gear Up's just pulling up behind them also. Vanir in the distance. Faultlessly bleeding out the wayside, Liquid directly in front of him. Supermassive just trying to stay alive, also kind of same situation that QM finds himself within. Just deep down below everybody at the footholds here in the trenches, hoping for any kind of stability. Honestly, I don't think you're going to get it. It's such an open water fight, really. There's nothing else you can do, and I can already see in the back. Just look towards
How did Dante's nade go that far?
What? I don't know, but he's going for a second one. If they move into the... Oh my god, it's underneath his feet. Oh, Ibi. So much damage is done, and that faults them for all but a moment. It will give them... Probably, actually, this will pay off for FaZe. They can get behind Gear Up now and maybe try and just stab them in the back where their vision is turned away, but Gear Up is taking the fight to them. Look at this. They've all turned tail. They realize what's coming behind them. It's time to fight, and FaZe is here.
Yeah, FaZe is certainly there. The Molotov going to confirm that suspicion. Gear Up needs to really pay attention. And they do. They at least find Fuzzface, but all the trades are looking still pretty effective for FaZe. And Schofield having to accept whatever's being dictated to them. Ruptures on the other side. Liquid do clear through question mark. We saw that over towards the north. They eventually got past it. And beyond that, we're still seeing VP being a problem here. They're trying to play this little bit of plateaued out ground. HeroiC are on the other side, and at least with a knock, it does buy them a second or two, even at the cost of Perfectic's life at this junction. We have to look at who's in the circle. DA barely in this, Vanir somewhat in this, HeroiC no longer are. FaZe and Liquid fighting in the north. This is such a bloodied battle between everyone here. FaZe do get past Gear Up, and did they lose players? I think they got a knock, but they didn't lose a player. VP on the pull-up now, trying to do what they can. And actually, I think they got a team kill, and that's not ideal by any means. And I think that might be VP pretty much done for. And I think maybe BatulinS might be around, and not for long. Yeah, going to be found by the nade in the end. Another nade's now come down. HeroiC within range here to try and get some connection because they need to start moving. This should be their next target. That's a good nade. How is Lyron alive?
So much damage is done. HeroiC solidify their fate. Flamey comes in onto
moving.
PiXeL. That's in the distance. Liquid have got a big old maneuver. They're going to go around all of this. Lazar spots them. That's a fair old amount of damage done. That makes so much noise, though. And all of a sudden, coming down the hill, look at T-Bone. He's rattling off in the distance. By goes the vehicle. But my word, so many players have just gone down. And that's all off the back of Lazar just kicking and screaming, making so much noise. Liquid had nowhere else to go. The ground here is just not meant for this amount of teams. So deadly, so nasty, and now it's FaZe next on the chopping block, but is it Vanir? No, Flamey answers back and holds them. First one will go down and swings around, doesn't realize there's someone around the corner. Maybe he does. Goes in for it, and there is Vanir. One more left standing somewhere lurking, but this has been so deadly. And they're gone and buried.
The beast from the mist just came flying on through. Gustav luckily was very much paying attention. Now, another bite of the cherry for DA. 4 alive, late game. They have to make up for the fumble they had before. They had a really good position last time. Now they've got to do just a little step further. They have to make the most of this. Heroic are hyper-focused. That molly is just on clip. They're both burning alive. Heroic are doing so much damage here, but it is just 2 of them. Cure and Beanie trying to work their way around this. Jeemzz is just staying low right now. He's trying to stay out of this. FaZe already looking this way. Q's going to be super careful here. He could be visible on this. Beanie just got found by Fex. Yeah, they are super visible. Yes, they get past Liquid, but at what cost? It's just Cure alone. Yes, he's got a load of boxes to pick up from. FaZe have all 4 alive, 13 kills. DA, you better deliver right now, boys. This is your game to do something with. You had great positioning on the adjustment. You were one of the first through to take a good compound. But FaZe have just ripped apart teams en route. They are the titans in your path. And now look at this position, actually. That circle update has played well for Aitzy in this. How does DA try to get around that, though?
This is the same kind of stumbling block which DA had to face off previously. All 4 players alive, but the circle was absolutely not with them. They're forced to rotate off the back. They'll use the vehicles, use the smoke, so they've kind of set something up here, at least to try and make their way towards this circle. They're going for the cars, and rightfully so. There's even a drop in the middle, which might be the play. Hit the drop with the cars and build something off the back of that. It's not much, but you'll take anything that you can get your hands on at the moment. Heroic goes down, and it all comes down to one individual on the side of SMB to try and keep them alive. Lazar, the one who did strike towards Liquid and really open up their treacherous arrival just below Heroic previously. Tags and damage done. Remember, DA, this will be their first win and puts us into another winner across 10 different games. If not, FaZe could be the first team to do the double.
It's looking likely with Fex doing that, claiming Vard's life. And you could see that DA were desperate to get Lazar out of that position, but he's not moving. If they could have removed Lazar, they could have maybe got a nice wrap on FaZe potentially. But Lazar is proning down. He is not leaving. That's why he's got 8 kills. He's played a great game from this position. He's not just that quiet snake waiting for like one chance. He has been fragging out from here. Now FaZe on the other side need to play this well, but they have been having a good game. 14 kills is just spot on. Now, DA on the other side are down to 3 here after that punish from Fex. And Jembty, don't try and bait that top peak and then hit the side. Fuzzface all too aware for that. DA not really trying to find the fight towards FaZe as it stands. Still looking to try and capitalize on Lazar, who is giving them nothing.
Brief moment of respite before this circle closes. 20 seconds to go, and we'll kind of see where people are going to be taking the next fight. Using the vehicle to try and garner some sort of information, jump up and maybe see something. Lazar's position well and truly noted. Helmet missing from Sion. That'll be problematic, especially when you have all these marksmen just lurking and holding these very tight angles. Gives you limited room and limited mobility, to be fair. Lazar will finally be forced to move. I'm not sure on... Excuse me, I am sure on it. With the vehicles they've actually got, so they could probably make some sort of pincer maneuver over to Jembty should they have to. But the thing is that FaZe can just stay here for pretty much the entirety of this circle, pretty much the entirety of the game. This whole pylon that they've mustered together somehow. I mean, they've been through some serious fights. You've seen what the frags are like already. Lazar's done a damn decent job for SMB.
Really has. Okay, FaZe, I want to see what they do with this, because they have Gustav and Fuzzface who do need to move up. You can see them trying to build like a little bit of a peaking ledge to look through, trying to work off the back of it. That's with Fex. Still plenty of smokes as well, 4 to play with. Fuzzface is going to go on foot here, just making sure they all get there in time. Gustav just playing the prone game. Now, DA, it's your turn to make the move up. How are you going to do this one? Shuffling in quietly, it looks like, trying to just play that little bit of an edge here. As Laza, broken vest, broken helmet. He is playing late game now. He has to just let the other two giants fight it out and see what scraps he can claim from the table. Vehicles now being targeted, going to make it harder work for DA. Speaking of vehicles, I think PiXeL is in one.
I love the smoke position to actually allow FaZe to take
FaZe is up top. It's so good.
Yeah, a higher angle. Oh, that's
Game
interesting.
On. They've got to push. They have to do something with this. They can't just let this be a res. They've got to find that next layer. Otherwise, you're constantly at a disadvantage. You've got to try and make a play. FaZe is playing a dangerous game because Laza could be a problem. FaZe can't see what we can see. The smoke is still pretty rife, and PiXeL gets the flush as well. Now, Fuzz, FaZe, Gustav have to be on red alert here. You can now see who's pushed up on the other side. Yuzhong right there. They have absolutely closed the gap. FaZe maybe took their eyes away from the prize for a second, and now they'll burn for it. Jembty finding Fuzzface. Now bear in mind, Laza's still out in the distance somewhere, but DA are at the doorstep. They've absolutely broken the back of FaZe here. This was so different. This is such a different look. Gustav is still in the grass, though. Do they expect it? No, they do not. Gustav with 2, maybe saving FaZe again. Finally gets found by Jembty. FaZe still stands in a 1v1 here for everything. He's gone for the flash. What a brave boy. Gets that underhand. Laza still waiting. Now just absolutely lapping up these moments going, this is looking possible. FaZe just ate that flash so badly. He is blind as anything. You can see it. He has no idea. Going to go for the right side. Jembty now on the peak. FaZe on the push around. And you can see the background. Laza is still just waiting this out. He's going to play this to the end. FaZe just found Jembty the wild spraying. Laza, it's game on. You can do something with this now. Broken vest, no smokes, no anything left to play with. Him against FaZe, against the world. 12 kills, 8 are his, 6 for FaZe. This is unbelievable scenes. And the circle, it plays well to Laza too. FaZe is further out in this. He has to work forward. He's picked up some smokes. He tries to make the run. Laza goes down! And what a clutch from